This is a message to all the 18-year-olds out there. So, I'm turning 19 soon, and I want to give you some messages, and I want to tell you some things that I just wish someone told me when I was just turning 18, you know? Even though, like, when I turned 18, I felt so excited in a way, like, I did not feel fearful, because before my previous birthdays, when I turned 17, 16, I was kind of afraid. And I obviously didn't feel my age because no one does when like I just turned that age, right? But when I turned 18, I was like, yep, I'm 18. Yeah, I'm 18. That's it. And I wasn't afraid at all. You know, I had a blast being 18. The thing is, my birthday is on the 3rd of January, which means that like it's always kind of forgotten between the holidays, right? Because even I'm like, oh, I never really like, because like you're trying to plan something for your birthday, but like you have to plan for Christmas, and like my birthday's already like 1 week before Christmas, so yeah. But the thing that I wish I knew, and the things that I want you to know as an 18-year-old, is that your life is actually just beginning. I know, you're like, man, that's so obvious, right? It's so obvious. You're only 18, right? But 18 is like that one age where like you feel so old and yet so young at the same time, right? Because you're basically like a child, right? Technically, like you just finished being a child, legally speaking, right? So you kind of feel like the oldest child, like an 18-year-old child, you know? But sometimes you're legally an adult. But when you look at the adults, they're like 20, 50, 20, 25, 30, 40, whatever. They look at you and they see a baby. And you're like, I feel old and young at the same time with that mindset, right? Which is like very normal to feel. I feel like we all feel that. It's very normal to feel. And I feel like when you turn 18, it's that transition between like, for the first time ever, no one will tell you where to be or what to do. Obviously, some people that doesn't apply because some people have like controlling parents or other responsibilities. You know, maybe they have kids. Even that, like, that's the weird thing about when you turn 18 is that like suddenly like you are an adult. Like you have friends who are just going abroad to study, getting their first jobs. Maybe some of them women like even you just say okay, most 18-year-olds don't get married, but like even like people who you know like they were like a couple years older, like you're still like to hear that, you know, like, oh, marriage of my friends or kids and stuff, universities and masters and countries and going abroad and traveling, and everyone like even your own classmates are like so spread out, even your own friends, like they're all so spread out, and it's so weird and so like a different experience than everything that was beforehand. I would say like that was personally my experience. At first I was gonna tell you like my, you know, to my 18-year-old self, but I wanted to also, I feel like you will also relate, you know. And for me, like when I finished, it's so weird and so surreal, but like for example, like it's just surreal, you know, like it's such like anxiety provoking like time, but also so exciting and freeing, right? Because like for the first time ever you have so much freedom and you can do so many things without having to like ask for permission for anyone, right? Like right now I can go and get a tattoo, no parents signature or anything, dye my hair, go drive wherever I want, book a flight and go to like the other side of the earth, and like I don't have to ask permission or anything. It's all on me, you know. I can do like so many things now, right? Obviously all of us can. Like that's like so freeing, right? But obviously like there comes also the responsibilities, right? Like the your first ever job, what are you gonna do with your life, the biggest question, the most dreadful question, the most anxiety provoking questions, like are you going to university, where are you going to for university, are you staying in your country, are you staying in your city, are you going to another city, are you going to another country, what are you studying, what is your major, is your major good, is your major hard, what do I need to do to get into university, do I want my extracurriculars, do I want my grades, do I want my exams, and is my future ruined because I am not a genius or something like that, you know. It's like very normal things. Because for example, like for me, you know, I took a gap year, right? And obviously like I had this fear where like, oh my god, like, you know, like I'm wasting my like year or whatever. And like for example, I went to end it this thing, right? And like this, I told like a girl asked me, you know, I was like, oh, I'm taking a gap year. And I asked her if she did because she was a bit older. And she's like, no. And she said how like she doesn't believe that, but she said how like in our community, let's say, or like her country, like elders believe how like people who take like gap years are actually like like dumb, let's say. Which like it's completely okay, you know, but like that's the thing where like many people have like preconceived like notions about your life and the way that you should live your life, and they have so much advice to give you, good ones and bad advice at the same time. And it's weird because like for the first time it's like you are like solely responsible for yourself, but like people are going to be trying to push you around and try to put you on a certain path. Most of the time you need to remember this, is that whatever path they're trying to put you on, it's for them to benefit, you know. Because like lady, because even when people ask you know, what are you doing, like what is your job, what is this, what is that, it's because like honestly God, I'm being transparent with you. It's just because like they're not asking because they actually care. They're asking because they want to see if like they can use you, or like if you can benefit them in any way, you know. Like that's literally it. That's why like I know that sounds, and I don't know, you're like, Maria, this is off topic, but it's really not. It's really not, because it's just so exhausting, I feel like, you know. Because I'm so grateful. Dear 18-year-olds, we have so much opportunities. Not maybe not all of us, but honestly, you know, all of us, we still do. We all have so much opportunities out there. You can do so many things. You can really like learn a foreign language. You can really like teach yourself how to code. You can really like teach everything. Go become a painter in Paris. You can really teach everything. Go and study fashion design in Italy. You can go and just like start studying science by yourself and like try to do experiments, or like email someone and get an internship like any place and just do anything, you know. Like there are so many opportunities out there and so many lives that you can live, you know. And it's so exciting, and honestly I would definitely advise you to just go after all of them, which I know it's like so unsolicited, you know, because so many people will tell you just like go with a safe option and whatever. But like, my love, you're in 2024, we're about to go 2025. Safe option is not safe. Nothing is safe. A 9 to 5 is not safe. A bachelor degree is not safe. A master degree doesn't guarantee you a job. Speaking 6 languages doesn't guarantee you a 6-figure earning salary. No, nothing does. I'm gonna bring this up because like today, even like I see people. I see people, yeah, we all do. But like I mean, like even today, I went to the shop and I got some nuts, right, from this nut shop. And then I was with my mother and my grandma, and the person who was working there was helping us out, you know, with like buying the thing. She had like the same ethnicity as my mother and grandmother, right? And started speaking Romanian. Yeah, whatever. Like that's not the thing, right? It's like many people, even like I remember even being like grocery store, my dad like seeing someone from like his school, you know, whatever. It's just so weird to me. It's like, because I didn't even get to the part because I'm like, oh, what do I say, what do I not say, whatever, but it's fine. I worked that same position for like a decade or 2 decades, right? And it's like literally like the same exact position. And like so many people like I can think of right now, which obviously I'm not gonna say names for like their occupation or whatever. And like it makes you think sometimes, we're like, why are these people doing the same job a decade or 2 decades in? Because obviously like in the past it was very normal. It was a very normal thing to do, right? To work at one company for like decades, right? But now it's like in this era that's not very normal, right? But like it's also because it's because we have so much information on our hands right now, right? Because we're like, in the past people would like look at people who own hotels, who are very wealthy, who own shops, and they would just wonder how they did it, and just wonder, not have any answer, right? And not have as many resources as we do right now to actually answer that question. Like right now we have videos, we have people documenting and like telling you. We have books, obviously books were beforehand, but like now it's like we have like a whole into videos and movies and documentaries, and like everything is out there. Like if you feel like, you know, I wonder how this guy just like has this like whole hotel chain. Oh look, I can like find a YouTube video about it and actually learn how he did it. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to start a business, or like I want to do this, and I can like search up and find different things to do and like evolve and try new things and whatever, right? And beforehand, people didn't know that. Like people, especially previous generations, have no idea about financial literacy or anything. Nothing, nada. Because like obviously they did not have that much resources. It's like even like when it comes to like immigration and stuff like that. Because like I didn't mention that thing. It's not only it could be also language barrier. It could also be like people who like didn't have resources to even like get an education or quality education or anything like that, and just like financial literacy, something like in the past was more passed down from like a more wealthy families to, yeah, you know what I mean, or at least was like studied in like very like high institutes that were like very hard to access for normal people, middle class people, whatever, the average person, let's say. I mean, like, honestly, like, it's hard to be actually very general, because like when you think about like the sociopolitical ideas and things that were happening in each country, it's such a different concept, right? Because you cannot compare like America in the 80s with like Europe in the 80s, because it's like it's not disco, everything is so different, Like, Maria, why are you bringing all this up when I'm just an 18-year-old person right now? I'm telling you all of this because what I got, and like what I feel like most people will get, with like the way that like our current like mind is and our current work system is or whatever, is that if you stick with something for so long, you're choosing it. You are choosing it, like, and that's the thing. It's like when you don't go after your dreams, whatever it may be, like if you don't even give yourself one shot and you go for like the safe option, right? Because that's the thing, is like I'm not gonna believe that like whoever is like worked like for 1 decade, 2 decades at a certain job like actually enjoyed all of those two whole decades and had no other dreams prior to that job, obviously like some people like it's completely okay, like working a 9 to 5 where like you don't have to like like if like your 9 to 5 or whatever job like just covers all of your bills and allows you to like live a comfortable, fulfilling life, that's completely okay. You don't have to be like, you don't have to do anything, like it's okay. But I feel like that we all kind of have dreams or had dreams when we were younger, and as we grow up we believe that it's time to let those dreams go and to be realistic, even though that's like the most idiotic thing ever, which I know how that sounds. I know you're like, Maria, shut up, I have bills to pay, I don't have time for my dreams, whatever. I feel like this doesn't even apply to only 18-year-olds, it applies to everyone, but that's the thing, it's like, okay, you have like, you can like find a million of excuses to not go after the things you want, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, like you are your biggest enemy. The mountain is you. Me too, like literally, like I've been there, like how many ideas or opportunities I was so close to and I just didn't go after them, either because I wasn't worthy, or I felt like I wasn't worthy, or I was just stuck in analysis paralysis, or I just thought too much of it and I did not act, And I'm telling you this because when you're 18, this is the time to explore. This is the time for trial and error and to try things and to push yourself out of your comfort zone as much as you can. Please do that, because only through discomfort we grow. Please don't stay stagnant. Please don't get stuck doing the same things every day, unless they're like a solid routine that will get you where you want to go, I suppose. Like if your routine is just like, but like even if you do that, like, even if you like, well, let's say you were like one of those people that just wakes up like 6 a.m. and does their meditation and works out and has their healthy breakfast, and they go on to work, and then they also come back and they do their studies, and then they work on their business, and they do practice a hobby, and then they go out with a friend or whatever, and like even though like it's a perfect, amazing, that's incredible, wow, I'm impressed. But even that, like from that time you need to change things up and try new things and go out there and explore. Like obviously we're like when I write birthday cards, because I recently wrote one, everything I wrote like to my friend I also need to me sometimes, because like I like the last birthday card that I wrote to my friend, there is a whole world out there waiting for you, and there truly is, because the world has been seen many times by many people, perhaps, right? Like millions of people have seen the Eiffel Tower. Millions of people have seen the pyramids of Giza. Millions of people have seen the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Millions of people have seen the London Eye, But guess what? You have never seen those things. You have never seen those things. Maybe some of you have, but still, like the world has not been experienced by you yet. It's like even when you create something like a piece of art or write a book, you might be thinking, oh, there's just so many books out there, so many like paintings out there, right? But it's like Yeah, but none of them were made by you. Like, that's the thing. It's like there are so many variables when it comes to your life and when it comes to creating anything that's really nearly impossible for whatever you create to be exactly identical as what anyone else created before you. You know, isn't that like incredible? Like even this, like I painted yesterday. You know, I was gonna like film myself painting, but like my phone died. Like this, it's not finished. Trust the process, okay? The thing about me is like I paint and repaint things over and over again. Like even like before this there was something else and I changed it again. I keep changing it. It's not done. Trust the process, okay? But even like this, even if I would leave it like that, the chances of someone actually like who has painted something exactly like this are so slim to none. Even in like in the process of it's in the process, you know. So even though there are like a million paintings out there, millions of artists and whatever, like my painting is still unique because I made it, and I'm a whole unique person myself, and so are you, and so are you. You know how many like unique experiences have made you who you are, and that applies for all of us. You know, I love how we as human beings sometimes just bond over or mutual experience. I would say, because that's what they are. You know, like I thought about this example even yesterday or today when like you have to go and get the groceries, like your mom calls you to go and get the groceries, and like you just like get the most random pair of shoes. Like stuff like that. We're like, okay, we all share that. Like when we are nervous for a first interview or first day of school, or like when we drive for the very first time and everyone is screaming in the car. And like when you just learn how to like use the brakes, and the brakes, and the car goes like it's kind of horrible. And there's just like so many like cute things like that, like just that we can all just bond over as human beings that we share despite how unique we are. I don't, I feel like it's more beautiful to say than our differences, like of how unique we all are. Yeah, that's just a little beautiful thing to think about, I think. I know you might think I'm getting off topic, whatever. Maybe I'll change the title, whatever. But yeah, not really. So if I would go back to my 18-year-old self, I would tell her to not worry as much. Because people have been telling me this over and over and over again, like multiple people. They just, don't worry, so we're like, don't worry, But I was such a big warrior. And I'm shifting towards being like, I'm more calm, more relaxed, I would say. Because I realized that like the key is to having fun, as we said beforehand. And it is also to be like relaxed and to have faith. Like I feel like faith is actually underrated, I would say. Like sometimes you have to have trust that things are gonna fall in their place and that you're just on the right path. And also to like not doubt myself so much, because personally I'm like, even like nowadays, like I still doubt myself sometimes. Like I generally like, you have no idea the amount of times I was like, maybe I should have like continued with the major that like I got in, even though it's not the major that aligns with me right now, or like but then I'm like watching videos and being like, trust your gut. Like I just knew that wasn't the place for me. And that's such a beautiful thing to know and to think, to like have trust of yourself in your own decision. Because like even though I made that decision, I trusted myself and I did it, I would still like have some doubts of that. I'm glad that I took the first step of trusting myself a bit more, but now I'm just like more in the process of like fully trusting myself with no certain doubts, just mean like I know in my heart and in my soul and in my intuition that it just wasn't the place for me. And just let go of it and just see where you are, see what you can do, and take advantage of the opportunities that I have right now and all the things that I can do right now. Because I'm in such a like clean slate situation where like I can actually do anything. That's so exciting, I would think, and so wonderful. I've talked about it, and I don't know, I feel like as time goes on and I get older, I realize that even like today, I realize that my life is mine and I get to live it in whichever way I want, and it doesn't matter what anyone thinks or whatever. I don't like it doesn't matter what anyone thinks or will say about whatever you're doing in your life, or whichever way you're trying to live your life, because at the end of the day, it's your life, you know. Because like literally like there's this thing where like I remember I was texting my friend. I said like, oh, you know, I have like exams or homework or something, and I just wish I could make like hot chocolate and watch a movie right now, because I was watching a movie or something like that. I was like, oh my god, that's such a like great idea. Like, you know, I can make hot chocolate. And she texted me, what's stopping you? And it's like such a simple thing, you're right. You're like, hot chocolate, Maria, like, you know, like, what's stopping you? I'm like, huh, nothing. Okay, I'll go and make hot chocolate. Because, you know, I said, oh, I wish I could make hot chocolate. But, you know, like that, like, the only thing that's stopping you is you from chasing your dreams. My dream was hot chocolate. From doing anything in this world. Even, like, this year, I booked a flight and I did not go. Why? Me. I was afraid. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that because I still trust myself and I'm still taking accountability for all my actions and I don't regret anything. And I'm actually glad that I listened to myself and my head and my body, because it felt like it wasn't the right time, you know. And sometimes you have to trust our intuition, I would say. So yeah, when it comes to that. But yeah, I'm bringing that up because, like, for example, today mom asked me to like clean up a bit. I did, of course. My grandma like came in. Instead of just like being like, no, leave her alone. She doesn't have to clean, okay? Let her be happy and just enjoy life. And then she played like some music on the TV and she danced a bit and we danced a bit together, and that was so funny. And she mentioned how, like, you know, this is it, like that's how you should live. Let the girl live her life in whichever way she wants to go to sleep whatever time she wants, to wake up whatever time she wants. She like gave this example of my aunt, how, like, you know, she cleaned whenever she wanted. Like, you know, I never asked her, you know, whatever. Yeah, she was my age. My grandmother, like, also didn't help with or something like that. And it's such a thing, because, like, it just reminded me of how, like, I can live my life in whichever way I want. And also, it's something that's normal, you know? I don't know, if it's like, I've been so, I don't know, robbed or drowned in this preconditioned ideas of what I'm supposed to be doing, where I should be, and I got so used to of those things, right? To like not even think of myself and just to like wait for orders, right? I'm not talking about my mom. I'm even talking about like school, university, education system. Even like my driving lessons just reminded me of school, where like I was like, I'm just turning my brain off. Okay, I'm gonna wait for your like orders and directions, I guess. Cause like that's the thing that's like was so annoying about school, where like they just didn't let you think by yourself, you know. And like whenever like they did, they were like, no, it's wrong, even though like you knew it was right. You just have to conform to whatever it was, you know. And yeah, it's just kind of like experiencing the world in a brand new way, I would say to you. And it's exciting, you know. It's incredible. It's freeing, even. And I don't know, it's like a thing that I realized this year is like, I don't know, it's like I'm so happy, I think. I think, why would I be? I'm so grateful. And I remember the sentence I said in September, where like I just decided to like take the gap year. It was like, I'm just like not used to not suffering. Which might be dramatic. It might be dramatic. And also, like, obviously education is such a privilege. Generally, it's such a privilege to have access to any type of education, even if it isn't quality education, you know. But yeah, and like it's something where like, you know, that one quote like BoJack Horseman, where like where it says, it takes you a long time to realize that you're miserable, and an even longer time to realize it doesn't have to be that way. I feel like being miserable is so normalized these days. Like, it's nearly like the default, you know? Just like so funny, because like I feel like in the past it was kind of like the opposite, but like the default was to say I'm good. Like, even though we say we're good when no, we aren't or whatever. But like it feels like it well, obviously, like when it comes to the internet and life and whatever, it's like the whole different section. But I feel like there is this part of the internet or the world where like people are like that, you know? Like, it's just the default to be sad. And the truth is that, of course, there are like many horrible things going on in the world, and there constantly are, and there, that's just a fact, and there were, and there will be. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. But like, why would you let all of that rob you from living your life? Like, do your part, stay informed, educate yourself, try to help whatever situation is going on in other countries and in your own country and in your community, etc. There's so much to be grateful for in this world. There's so many good news every day that we just take for granted. Like, obviously, like, when it comes to like media outlets and news and all that, like, they only highlight the bad things going on, which there's a whole thing in itself, and like it could be on its own video on its own, but the whole idea does come from our own. Basically, like, our brains are wired to perceive and give more attention to bad news and good news, because when we're in caves, we're cavemen. Those were more important, because those news were going to determine if we're gonna be alive or not. Survival and all that. But now we're not. Obviously, some people are like in survival mode. Let's say, But I feel given that whole topic, it's in itself a whole other thing. It really is. But I'm talking about like there's so much good in this world, and so much good that has happened and is happening right now, even to you, and you have absolutely no idea, and you take it for granted, and it's just simply the truth. Then believe me, sit down, write 100 things you're grateful for. Just do it. Just do it once. Do it twice. Do it once for a week. See what happens. Because for me, like, I used to do that, where like I would write like things I'm grateful for every day, not 100, but like I would fill out the whole page, right? And I feel like it's a very good way to start your day. And I feel like a grateful heart is definitely a magnet for miracles, for sure. I have a quote in my room that says that. And it's also just a reminder of how much good there is in this world, Like, there's just so much good, and we take it all for granted, I would say. Because, like, even, like, little moments, like, for me, like, when those little moments of kindness from strangers happen, I'm just like, that's so sweet, Like, for example, I went to the shop, I bought something, I was by myself. Like the cashier linked everything, and I was putting everything in my bag, but maybe I was, like, a bit struggling, and this woman just, like, helped me a bit. Like, it was just an act of kindness, but, like, I remember it. That's so cute. Or, like, when I was, like, driving and trying my best, and someone would, like, let me, like, like, it just let me, like, do it out. Like, it's just so cute. And there's just so many other things, There's just so much love and kindness in this world. And I feel like we need to open our eyes to that and see it, like, obviously, like, I want to say beauty is eye of the beholder, but it's more of like whatever you seek, you see in this world. If you seek darkness, if you seek, cruelty, you'll find. But if you seek love, if you seek light, you'll also find that, And I think it's beautiful in its own way. Another thing that I want to mention that I just recently learned is how, like, you actually need to live with the light and the darkness every day. And I don't know, I think the word darkness to me sounds so, like, I don't know, like, emo, cringe, something like that. Nothing wrong with either of those things. But, like, I don't know, But for me, for example, I remember, like, I had my journals, my first 3-4 journals. I would call them light journals, and I wouldn't allow myself to write anything negative in them, right? I remember I met up with this friend. It was a bit, like, spiritual, let's say. She mentioned how, like, actually, like, you can have light without darkness, and how, you need both for them to coexist, and it might not be the best thing for me to be doing that. I ignored it, and I did, like, I got it, but also didn't until, like, recently. It's kind of funny because it took me, like, years for me to realize that-ish. Obviously, like, my new journal, like, I started writing the good and the bad. This is, like, I'm nearly finished it. And oopsie doopsie. This is my next one. I spent €4 on this thing, even though I said it was 2. I got scammed again. Okay. And I just saw this video that I posted on TikTok This guy who said that people who only seek only one light, kind of. Honestly, I will never be able to like actually trust me whatever he said as good as he did. Sorry, I'm really sorry, but I'll try. I guess I'll try. Basically, it's like seeking light is like perfectionism in its own way, right? It's just it's just impossible, you know. Life cannot exist without darkness, without death, you know. Like people need you need both things to live your life, and ignoring one or the other is not gonna benefit you in the long run, you know. Like you need the good and the bad, and like obviously like good and bad are just abstract, you know, abstract ideas, whatever. But like I feel like we all have like our own ideas of what is good and what is bad and what it could be classified as light and what is darkness or whatever. And I'm telling you this because you need to acknowledge both things, I would say, for you to see the whole picture, you know? To not only see the bad, but to also see the good. To not only see the good, but also see the bad. To realize that both exist at the same time everywhere. Always and forever. It's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, it's such a important thing to understand and realize, because even within me, I would say there are moments where I felt like, or like people who have described me as just so like such a source of light for them, you know. And I remember when I was like having like going through like hard things or whatever, I felt like that the light in me was like dying, let's say. And I felt even like more of a darkness, let's say, like it's so emo and dramatic, but like more negative, let's say, you know, to be more negative, to not exude as much positive energy, let's say, or whatever else, you know. I'm talking to you about this because you can't do the inner work that you need to do if you don't acknowledge that you need to do it. You can't acknowledge that there's something you need to work on if you don't acknowledge that there's something wrong, you know. And as you live life, there's gonna be things that are gonna knock you down. There are gonna be things that you need to work on, or like, you know, ones that are gonna be new or old wounds that you'll need to heal. And you cannot heal a wound that you don't accept that it's there, that it exists, you know? By only accepting light, you're acting as if pain doesn't exist or you're not affected by it. But it does exist, and you are affected by it, consciously or subconsciously, as always, you know? And that's why, and you're like, why the fuck are you telling me this for like an 18-year-old video? Talk to me about college and work and love and whatever. This is also important, okay? Because you're just 18. And that's the word, just 18. You're young. You have so many options. You can do so many things, and it's up to you to choose, obviously. Like, that's like the most obvious things. But my advice to you, for anyone, because for me, like, I would always like be like, oh, I've done a lot of inner work and I already worked on myself a lot. Like, look at me, I have like 4 journals, 5 journals, you know, whatever. Like, I don't need to work on myself more, or you know, I'm sick of it. I'm done, you know. Because I felt that way. Because I'm like, when does it end? When am I gonna like, you know? But that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't end. Obviously, like, don't like see yourself as a project. But just as a, like, this is just a tool for me to be able to express myself, write down my thoughts, and plan the life that I want to live, you know. That's it. It doesn't have to be, yeah, I shouldn't dread it, because like even before, and I feel like I started to dread it, as I said, oh, I finished to do this, whatever, you know. But now I'm like back to like, oh, I like these things, they keep me accountable, they help me in the long run, I enjoy them. But I'm talking to you all this because you need to work on yourself. We all need to work on ourselves, and that's the thing, is that like, it's a constant thing that doesn't necessarily like end at a certain point. Because even I would say that I'm a very self-aware person, you know. And then but like it's the thing, okay, I'm a very self-aware person, let's say, and I feel like, oh, I healed everything, but in reality that's not true. 'Cause I still have some things that I need to heal. I still have some things that I need to understand about myself. I still have some things that I need to work on myself. I need to break some bad habits. I still have some limited beliefs. And even though I felt like, oh, I deal with them and I raised them, now they're back. And I need to like go back and try to heal that, you know, fix that, let's say, release that. Because I feel like it's so important for you to know that you might just be your biggest enemy. And I know that sounds, and like I want to say that to me, and I want to like go back and be like, oh, you're your biggest enemy or whatever. But like I feel like I was in a way, but like I didn't even understand because it was like more of a passive enemy, For example, like when it was to like apply to universities, I didn't feel like I would be able to like get into like universities abroad, let's say. So I didn't even try. I had the chance to actually ask a director to help out with like a movie or something like that, but I didn't. I had the chance to email this IT new program that's going on to like ask for an internship. My friend, suggested that I could do that, and I didn't. There was this other thing that was gonna apply to, but I was like, oh no, I'm not going to. And then this other person told me to do, and I did it then. And I feel like there's a similar like this part, and you're like, okay, what are these examples, Maria? In all the scenarios, I didn't believe deep down that I was worthy of those things, that I could have those things. That's why I didn't even give myself a shot. And I think I'm not the only one. I think I'm not the only one who has done that or is guilty of that. What can I do is acknowledge that, try to be better, ask myself, where does that come from? Why? Very good exercise to get to the root of anything. Just keep asking yourself why, and you'll find it. Hot tip, right? Wait, no. Okay. Life hack. Hot life hack right there. But yeah. Okay, how do we change that? Okay. Affirmations, meditations, write it down, journal. That's why the journal is there, right? It's the tool that's supposed to help me figure out whatever it is. Figure out what's holding me back. Why am I holding myself back? And to reason with my own self, And I feel like it's actually scary to go about life without a journal or without even these videos to me are somewhat like journals to me. Without anything like that, to me, it seems nearly dangerous for you to walk on this path in life without any of that. Because you're just going through life with no tools. And you're just going off whatever people tell you. Because even when I gave up my tools, literally that's what I was doing. I was asking Google, I was asking ChatGPT, I was asking my friends, anyone but myself. I was not sitting down by myself to just write it down or to just yap for 2 hours, about what is going on or why and blah blah, And I feel that's the thing where me sitting here and yapping for 2 hours might come hard to other people, and even to me. I feel just because I'm also posting all of this, right? It's easier to just sit down and write whatever personal thing that you want to write and discover whatever personal thing that you want to you will discover. It's easier to do that, I would say, personally. But yeah, that's why I'm mentioning all of these things to you, because it is so important. Because if it is so that you choose that, life is short, I'm gonna die one day, nothing is guaranteed, I'm gonna give myself a shot. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm gonna go surfing for no reason. I'm gonna go to another city by myself. I'm gonna go and book a flight to another city. I'm gonna go and do an Erasmus. I'm gonna go volunteer abroad. I'm gonna go and just get this random job just for fun, just for the experience. I'm just gonna email 100 companies and just ask for an internship and see where that goes, you know. It's just, there's so many things that you can do, whichever area that you want. Like, even like, and that's the thing where like people don't understand anymore. I would say, like, when it comes to your dreams, it is nearly, I want to say like it's easy, because it is easy. Like, for you to actually go after your dreams, you know how easy it is right now in this day and age. Let's say, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. You know, I showed you like the one picture of like about like a million streams or whatever, like Spotify streams or whatever. Okay, I was like randomly out and I saw this sticker, and I checked it out and I searched it up, and I learned that it was actually this musician in my area that's probably looked around my age or something like that. And through her, I found what's it, a selling record? I think so. That's what they call publishing record. Let's say that's what it is, right? And a studio in Salt where she filmed, where she recorded her single or whatever, you know. Really, I didn't even know that was even a possibility, or like that there were such things, you know, like where I lived, you know. But turns out there were, and like I could just, and I followed her, and I also followed her publishing record, whatever company, I don't even know. And also like followed the guy that like helped with like producing the song or whatever. And boom, automatically, and now I have access to people who are actually in the industry. And I could just DM them or email them or even like, I don't know, call them or just like write a comment asking them for help or whatever. And boom, boom, I can like try and do something. Like, and that's like so crazy because like even like with the film director, for example, like they were filming this movie in like my country, right? And I found this film director, and I found her on Instagram, and I followed her, and I also wrote a comment on one of her posts, and she liked it. And I thought of like, oh my god, just like DMing her. And like the thing is, if I DM'd her, she would have seen it because she saw my comment. But you see, like even that, like I could have actually just walked on a movie set if I just asked. And like there's so many things like you can just get by just asking like the right people. And that's the thing when it comes to your dreams, and that's why like networking is so important. And I so like stressed it so much in the beginning, because like whatever you want to do, whatever industry you want to get into, you need people who are already in the industry to like you can just learn from passively, or just like to literally just ask for help, and they will most likely help you. And it's just so simple, I feel like. And it's just so weird how it is so simple, I would say. Obviously, like, don't go and just, you know, don't DM freaking Anna Wintour because you want to go and work for Vogue. That's not gonna work. But, like, still, you can, like, maybe, like, check the photographer, check the editor, check the other people, look at the names. You know, even, like, in the credits of a movie, you can just check, you know, whatever. Maybe you can find them and send them an email, send them a DM, check them on LinkedIn, whatever. Like, that's the thing. It's like there's just so many things that you can do. And I think it's just such an incredible thing. And I would just encourage you to actually go out there and do them, and to believe in yourself, and to believe that you're worthy, and to just go after your dreams, and go after whatever it is that you want to do. Like, genuinely, like, I just love that, because I have this friend where, like, because I remember I just had, like, ideas here and there. And he was like, yeah, whatever, like, yeah, that sounds cool. Go after, like, I'm supporting you in whatever you want to do. I'm like, that's so cool. But really, like, that's gonna be, like, me to you. This is very parasocial, I know. But stay with me, okay? Even if you don't have a friend like that, be that for yourself and give that support to your own self, I would tell you, you know? It's just so wonderful to think about all the possibilities that there are out there. Yeah, like, don't stress yourself out for, like, not choosing one thing. You're only 18, you're only 19, whatever. You're so young. You don't know anything. And I'm just like, I don't know if that makes me so happy. I'm like, yes, I'm young and I don't know anything. I was watching the Vampire Diaries, and there's this scene where like Damon is like, stupid 19-year-olds who don't know anything, because he went to like a college party or whatever, season 5 or whatever. And I was like, yeah, he's right. We're just stupid. Because like literally, it's because like you think that you know everything when you don't know anything. That one Taylor Swift song. How can someone know everything at 18 and nothing by 21, right? Literally. Literally. I'm just asking you to do all of these things early. And you can do them later. Doesn't really matter. It's not a competition. It's not a race. I'm just timing you. You can do whatever you want or whatever time you want to do. You can have kids at 40. You can adopt them. I don't know. You can get married at 50. Or 20. Up to you. It's your life. Obviously, I don't endorse anything of those things. I think I'm just telling you, you have free will. Use it. Use it. Literally, like, don't make excuses. Live your life. Book that flight. Take that trip. Try that food. Text that person. Unless it's your ex. Okay, with all of that being said, I think I covered a lot of the things that I wanted to say, ish. And if anyone's actually watching, thank you so much for watching. And thank you for listening to me and my yup session. I hope I'll perhaps see you on the next one. I also have no idea if like this video has even audio, because like sometimes I tell you the mic doesn't actually work. And if it doesn't have audio, I'm just gonna upload it like this and I don't care. You can just read my lips or something. Okay, and like I'm not gonna be. I am calm, even if I stop and I check and it has no audio. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna laugh. I'm just gonna upload it the way it is, and hope you can read my lips. With all that being said, you know today Yummy has time to skedaddle, and I've been saying like, oh, kiss us till next time. I feel like it's the thing that I've been saying. I don't know. I don't know what to say at the end. I don't know if kisses till next time works. Someone come up with something else or else get AI. Okay, but till then, kisses till next time. Go after your dreams. Sending love.